Good day, sir. We are the Group 1 and we are going to discuss the attributes of media literacy and informational literacy or information literacy. Media literacy is the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, and create media in a variety of forms. And information literacy is the ability to find, evaluate, organize, use, and communicate information, all its various formats. First attribute of information literacy is able to determine the type and nature of information. So to be an information literate, it is very important to know the type and nature of the information we have received, if it is reliable or not. We all know that misinformation can harm the society.
To continue, the second attributes of informational literacy is able to access information needs effectively and efficiently. So we need to evaluate the information and its sources critically and incorporate selected information into one knowledge base or use information effectively to accomplish a specific purpose.
Information literacy also enables us to critically evaluate information and resources. It is vital to evaluate information and its source. Evaluating information necessitates us to consider the dependability, validity, accuracy, authority, timeless, point of view, and bias of information sources. Evaluating sources means identifying the credibility of the information you read and include in your data analysis. Despite the abundance of information available in print and online, not all of it is credible, useful, or accurate. Simply because a book, article, or website matches your search criteria does not imply that it is a trustworthy source of information. Because not everything you read on the internet is reliable and true, you must evaluate it critically before sharing or using information or resources. One must first evaluate them. Teach your students how to evaluate what data needs to be gathered, what differentiates fact from opinion, and where to find the most up-to-date and useful information. Additionally, information literacy enables us to use information ethnically and legally. Ethical use of information means using information ethnically and properly. There are two approaches to dealing with this concept. They are the issues of plagiarism and copyright. It is critical to give credit where credit is due and to correctly use the work of others. Even though information, words, and ideas are not tangible, they can be stolen and those who do so may face consequences. It is critical to use the resources you collect for your project, paper, or research in an ethical manner. This is accomplished by correctly citing your sources both in the text of your paper and in your references, works cited, and or bibliography.
And the fifth one is to use and communicate information effectively and efficiently. So it is very important to have this ability in order that the receiver will understand the information you want to convey, also to avoid conflict.
Now, let's proceed to the second literacy that we would like to explain its attributes, which is media literacy. So we all know that media brings a big impact on our lives, particularly affecting how we relate to, learn about, and interact with the people around us. So the first attribute of media literacy is ability to access, evaluate, create, and act using all forms of communication. So this means that we're able to access media messages, to analyze and evaluate the accessed media from a critical point of view, and to generate our own media messages through various types like visual, auditory, printed, etc. Second is build an understanding of how media messages shape our culture and society. So media literacy construct an understanding of the role of media in society. Media are so ingrained in our cultural environment that even if you turn off the set, you still cannot escape today's media culture, because media no longer just influence our culture, they are our culture. All we have to do is to control the interpretation of what we see and hear, then letting the interpretation control us. Third, develop critical thinking skills around all types of media. Media literacy is a significant way to challenge students to understand and construct the nature of media representations. It allows people to question motivations of any form of media communication like websites, social media messages, etc.
To continue the discussion of Ms. Lan Gomez, the fourth attribute or characteristics of media literacy is the strategies for analyzing and discussing media messages. We need a foundation on which to base thought and reflection, as understanding the strategy behind the placement of photos of newspaper page, using camera angles, and lighting. They consciously consider how the message can and does affect you. The fifth attribute is the awareness of media effects on the individuals and society. Mass media helps change the world and the people in it. News not only tell us what's going on, but what to think about. And stereotypes can influence our perceptions of everything we encounter. Lastly, understanding the process of mass communication. Every media has its own way of delivering the message that can affect the audience understanding. If we know the components of mass communication process and how they can relate to one another, we can form expectations of how they can serve it.